Really good.
Okay.
All right, guys, it's Dink Talk. We're fired pickleball, talking about the importance of dinking, the importance of your thirds, and really, you guys, how the game's changing in these last 6 months. Biggest notice I've seen is probably a lot more people driving their thirds than dropping their thirds. We see a lot of players like Caden right here that kind of can get away with driving their thirds, especially if you're playing kind of a lower 4-0, 3-5, those types of players. What do you think about that, or life?
I think that the game's definitely changing. We're seeing a lot more fast-paced balls, a lot more speed-ups, a lot of stuff like that. But honestly, really want to focus on that importance of that dinking and setting up your partner and setting up your point. I think a well-constructed point means a lot in pickleball. It's like a chess game.
Pickleball is like a chess game. Again, a lot of it is pattern recognition. We were looking at some highlights last night, and something I noticed was, if you're going to dink it cross court 6 times in a row, then you're not going to be expecting that down the line type of dink.
What other patterns are you seeing in pickleball right now?
I see a lot more people not go as big on their serve and just kind of get their returns deep and into the middle, kind of creating a little bit of confusion with their partners and stuff. Kind of really not even the rally starting until the third shot drop comes. A lot of higher level players kind of will be more relaxed on their serves and very relaxed on their returns. A big reason I think that is mostly because of how the ball bounces. In pickleball, the ball doesn't bounce nearly as high as it would on a tennis ball. So since the bounce is so low, you don't really have an angle to kind of go and flatten out over the net. Another thing is you can't really shape the ball as well as you can in tennis. So pickleball is much more of a game of setting up patterns and kind of just touching it over the net. I'm not really placing it, I'm kind of just going with my whole body and kind of moving it. But yeah, speed ups are a big thing, kind of the higher level you go. Speed ups and how important are hands. It seems like once you go to the 4 or 5 level and above, it seems like a lot of people have the dinks, have the thirds, have the drives, and it seems like that is more of a chemistry thing and how good are your reflexes really when you get into those firefights. Me and Caden will be doing a drill right here. We'll be speeding it up and I'll be resetting it. Sometimes I'll speed it up, but it's really a good kind of drill to test out the hands. Again, we got a dink net. It's really nice to use and drill with. A big thing, I think an underrated skill around the 3-5 to 4-0 level would be disguising your speed ups. Again, we want your speed ups to look like a dink, and at the end, then you're going, right? Don't let your body express where you're going. Really conceal it, hide it. And Caden does a really good job of this, is he'll hide it. His whole body will show that he's going cross court, and at the end, then he'll go down the line.
Yeah, and remember, when I'm speeding up, it's not necessarily about getting those really, really good, hard shots. It's more about that control that I'm using to get it at my opponent. I'm not going to take a big old swing and try to speed that ball up, because what that does is it allows them time to see it. And even as you saw when I did that, John still got his paddle on it, even though he didn't return it. So when I'm dinking back and forth, my goal is just to go right at him. See, he gets a nice little reset there, and I made a mistake. But at the same time, I'm still disguising that till the very last minute so that I don't show what I'm trying to do.
It's a good point, right? Less is more, right? Pickleball is a game of the wrist, whereas other racket sports are kind of a complete arm swing. When we speed up, Caden brought up a really good point, right? Is all we're doing is just kind of doing that little wrist flick. Again, we're going to be on the kitchen, so we can't even literally let our kind of motion take us forward. We got to be controlled, feet spread apart, and kind of just less is more with the wrist, right? Less is more with the wrist when you're speeding up.
Well, and even touching on that control factor, right? If I come in and I step in and John speeds up, he's going to hit that ball right at me, and I'm going to be in the kitchen. So I will have zero time to react, and let alone I can't volley that out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I have to stay a little bit back and be prepared so that when either of us decides to go ahead and speed that ball up, we're ready, right?